Hi everybody, it is April and I am in my craft room. One question, why don't quilters like to use panels? So I did some thinking and I can understand if you have all the time in the world and nobody bothers you to do other things for them. You don't have another job, you don't have grandkids, you don't have pets. If your whole purpose in life is to quilt, you don't need panels. Grandkids. If you are creative all the time, you always have wonderful ideas or patterns that you want to work on, and you know exactly how to put all of your fabrics together, you don't need panels. But if you're like me, I need panels. I love panels. I don't love panels because I'm not creative. I don't love panels because I have unlimited free time. No, because I don't have unlimited free time. I love panels because they're a picture. It's like having a piece of artwork in the middle of your quilt. And if you feel like it's cheating, all I can say is let it go. I don't think it's cheating. I think that it is something that most people are going to enjoy. And if they don't enjoy it, don't give them a quilt with a panel. The children that I'm going to make these quilts for, they're not going to hand that quilt back to me and say, yeah, can you do your best work and not give me a quilt with a panel? No. They're going to love the panel that's in the quilt because it's a cool picture. Let me show you some examples. Here is an example. I don't know if you can see the whole thing. And if you hear noise in the background, you got to do what you got to do when you got to do it. This panel can be cut up because there are several pictures within the panel and it glows in the dark. Who's not going to love a glow in the dark panel? Let me show you another one. Animals dressed up for Halloween. I'm sorry. You can't get any cuter than that. Who's not going to love animals dressed up for Halloween? My granddaughter has already picked this one out. Scary house scene with cats. Picked out. Somebody's already requested that it be in their quilt. Scary giant picture. A graveyard, the Grim Reaper, ghosts, buzzards, witch flying in the air. You can't beat it. Again, already been requested. I know exactly who wants this panel in their quilt. Another scary house. I must admit, no one has chosen this one yet. It might be mine. Night scene, big moon, kitties, witch with long pretty hair flying through the moon. This one is going to be my youngest granddaughter's. I believe it glows in the dark. If it doesn't, the coordinating fabrics do. This is actually my favorite. This, if I have the time, I will be making a quilt for myself. So today's panel quilt is going to consist of this panel, which I actually have two of them, so I am going to separate them from one another. I usually buy two at a time because one's to hoard and one's to use. This panel, I purchased coordinating fabrics. So this is going to be one of the easiest panel patterns you are going to see. This is for those of you who, like me, have no extra time. We have kitties. This is directional. You have to be careful using this one. spider webs, skeletons. These do glow in the dark. I have noticed they've been sitting out for the past week, and I noticed when I turn the lights off, they glow. Now, I do have some coordinating fabrics that don't come with the collection, just fabrics that you might want to have lying around so that you can use them, especially for Halloween. I've got a gray grunge. I have a black grunge. And somewhere I have some orange. Not grunge, but as you can see, it looks like a watercolor. And one other thing, I believe this goes with that panel as well. So let me clean up my mess and show you exactly how we are going to whip this panel up. All right, I just wanted to share with you some other pre-cuts that you can use with your panels and that I'm going to be using. So here, this was actually from Missouri Star, and I happened to be at Missouri Star Quilt Company the day that this was the special value of the day. So, strips, perfect for panels. Another pre-cut that you can use are fat quarters, and I will show you how I use them with one of the panels. So here we have our panel, and I have two of them. When you have panels and you have two of them, right here is an arrow that shows you where to cut it. So right there. So I want to cut it straight from here to this arrow here. So I'm going to line these up. Now, if this isn't straight, you do not want to cut it with a rotary blade. But these panels look pretty straight. So when I lay this out here and I roll this like this, everything lines up. Thank you. So I am going to cut it, and we will see if that was a mistake. I don't think it is. Now, I do want to make sure that the distance from the edge of this line on my panel is the same from the top to the bottom. And then I am going to cut it. Now let's see how that turned out. Beautiful. Let me run an iron over this, and I will show you the next step when I get back. On the side I cut, it's nice and neat. On the other side, where it was cut at the shop, not so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten that out. Let me measure here, 2 inches on the black line, kind of. All right, so if I do this and I put 2 inches on the black line, that's pretty straight. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that. Okay, now I need to cut off my selvage. Everything else is going to stay. I am not going to worry about how big this quilt turns out. I'm not going to go crazy on the borders, but I'm going to add the borders to the top and the bottom. I'm going to put the kitties, and then I'm going to put the skeletons. So it's about 42 inches long. And then it's super skinny, which in this case, we don't really care what the width is. So a strip of fabric is not going to quite cover an entire side. So I will need 1, 2, 3. Let's start with 4 strips of fabric. We're going to cut the kitties first. We've got a directional fabric. So let's straighten out this directional fabric first, and then figure out how we need to cut it. And I'm still using my Fabric Hut titanium blades, and they're still cutting beautifully. All right, so I decided I was going to do, let's do 3-inch borders. We'll cut a 3-inch. Now, when I cut my 3 inches, my kitties are going the right way when I hold it this way. So this will be for the top. So we've got the 2 strips for the top. Now we have to figure out how much fabric we have and cut it so that the cats will be facing the right way when we put it on the side. So let's straighten this up, and we're going to straighten it by removing the selvage edge. So when we cut this, we get 2 strips. So we will sew those together. So I need to cut this 3 times in order to get long enough. I am just making this up as I go along, so you get to tag along with me. And this can be done with any theme. You do not have to do Halloween. This is just what I wanted to do. We will worry about the skeletons once we get these attached. Off to the sewing machine. And this is what I have greeting me at the sewing machine. Maxine is here to help. Yay! Oh, she looks like she's tired.
Hey kid, nice costume. Wanna know what I am? Well, I'm a pumpkin. I'm a jack-o'-lantern. I'm a spooky witch and a scary monster. Not a kooky clown or a giant lobster. I'm super orange.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the sides on, because I like to put the top row across the top after I do my sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew these 2 strips together. And I'm going to go ahead while I'm doing this. Let's see. And let's make sure my cats are facing the same way. They are. Yay. So let's make sure we do that for this one as well. Cut these apart. Set one aside. All right, I want to make sure that my cats are facing the right way.
Silk and never hairy. I'll scare your sister, I'll scare your friends. But as for you, well, that depends. 'Cause I'm a pom.
So I have one side done. Now I need the top and the bottom. So I'm going to fold this over. Going to finger press. Now this is the bottom, but it doesn't. Let's see. Do I want the cats going inward? No. I'm going to put the cats the right way for the bottom. So I'm going to do that and flip them. And we'll cut the excess off when we are done adding our borders. So our first border is on. Let's go trim it up and put this thing on the wall and see what our second border is going to look like. Before I iron, I'm going to trim the corners where I have overlap. So here, I have this border here, so I'm just going to lay this down and trim. And I'm going to do that all around, and I should have 2 different places to trim. So I need to trim here and here. So I'm going to press the seam, which is what you should always do. I'm just not always good about it. And then I'm going to press open. So this is what our panel looks like so far. Now we have to decide, do we want to put a black strip, or do we just want to go ahead with the skeletons? Let me cut a strip of the skeletons. I don't have to worry about them being directional. I do have to worry about them being directional. Well, bummer. Okay, so I'm going to cut a strip we'll see what it looks like. I've also got this black, so I'm going to cut a strip of this, a skinny strip of this, because we might want a little break in between our borders. Be right back. Okay, so I have done a little pre-test. So let's look at this side first. Here I've put a skinny black strip in between the orange and the purple, and I've done the same at the bottom. Now on the other side, there is no skinny black strip. So you can kind of figure out which way you want it to look. I like the skinny black strip. So I'm going to add that skinny black strip in between the kitties and the skeletons. My quilt top is complete. It's very small, so it came together really quickly. But it is for a 2-year-old. So I didn't want it to be so big that she couldn't drag it around the house like a 2-year-old should drag a quilt. I'm really leaning towards fleece. I made a Christmas quilt and put fleece on the back, and my youngest daughter said it was the perfect weight. Now, before I say see you later, I have a few people I want to thank. Pat, I hope that when you're looking in my background, you don't look too closely because it can be a mess. Kathy, I enjoyed answering your question on what machine to buy. It is a tough choice between the Rebel and a Q16. I'm thinking the Rebel is going to take you further and give you more flexibility. And then once you're ready for a long arm, the Q16 can be used as your long arm, and your Rebel will be perfect for piecing. And of course, quilting those small projects that you have lying around. And I would also like to thank Vicki, Brenda, and Michelle for keeping me caffeinated. I very much appreciate your buying me coffee. That is it for right now. Let me show you the panel that I'm going to work on next. Very spooky and perfect for the little girl who loves to watch Wednesday. I'm going to use these strips and this panel to quickly pull together a quilt for my niece's daughter. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Eat some chocolate and be kind to everyone. Until next time, bye.
Pumpkin, I'm a jack-o'-lantern. I'm a spooky witch and a scary monster, not a kooky clown or a giant lobster. Pumpkin, I'm a pumpkin. I'm a pumpkin. I'm a pumpkin.
If I'm crooked, I apologize. Looks like I'm crooked. I am going to be making several quilts with 7 different panels. They coordinate. I don't even know what I did. See, I lose the panel between the Rebel. No, it's a tough choice when your dog's working. For my niece's daughter.